Okay, my name is Byler the Banana, and I'm on a special mission to sing you a special song. Now, some people, when they see me, they think I'm just goofy and crazy, but other people, they find me appealing. Anyways, I'm on a special mission to sing you a special song. The special song that I'm going to sing is called the Wiggle Worm Song. So you see, we've been getting letters at the church from kids saying, we want more Wiggle Worm Song. So, I got this beautiful picture colored by a little guy in our congregation named Levi. And he wrote me a letter with his picture that said, I like the Wiggle Worm Song. Well, Levi, guess what? I like the Wiggle Worm Song. You like the Wiggle Worm Song. We all like the Wiggle Worm Song. And so, anyways, the church asked if I would come out and sing for you guys the Wiggle Worm Song. Because being a fruit, let's just say I know a lot about worms. Now, this song may be a little fruity, but it's bound to be a lot of fun. So here we go, kids. The Wiggle Worm Song. Have you seen a wiggle worm? Smaller than a tiny germ. He has got a great big appetite. And though he isn't very big, he eats more than any pig. Always looking for someone to fight. So never wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Never giggle, giggle, giggle. Always watch wiggle worm when you feel the urge to squirm. In your church on Sunday, in your school on Monday, fight off the wiggle, fight off the wiggle worm. Now I was in my Sunday school, sitting still and being sweet, when I saw him crawling on my shoe. Wiggle worm, don't bother me, or we'll have a catastrophe. Then I kicked him out of Sunday school. So never wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Never giggle, giggle, giggle. Always watch the wiggle worm when you feel the urge to squirm. In your church on Sunday, in your school on Monday, fight off the wiggle, fight off the wiggle worm. Yes, alright, there you guys go. That was the Wiggle Worm Song. So next time you feel like wiggling around in church and you can't hold still, or maybe you're at home and you can't hold still, or at school and you can't hold still, that's called the Wiggle Worm. Fight that wiggle worm off so that you can hold still. Alright, well, this is Byler the Banana saying, see you later!
Hi kids! Hello everybody, and welcome to Sunday morning live stream for the kids, FMC Kids Time. Woo! Alright, here we go. One of my favorite songs. And there's a city that calls me by name. There's a city that calls me by name. Yes, as I run this race, I am here by the sea. There's a city that calls me by name. There's a future that runs through my veins. There's a future that runs through my veins. And there's nothing on earth that can stand in the way. There's a future that runs through my veins. Yeah! And everywhere I go on this road, I know where I go with you. And I will be free, this my hope, don't fade. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave. The same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, I know where I go with you. And I won't be afraid, 'cause my hope's gonna be where I go with you. Where I go with you. Your breath. upon these roads. Your fire in my soul, your kingdom is my home. So I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, I know where I go with you. And I won't be afraid, it's my hope, don't play. Where I go with you. Here we go! And everywhere I go on this road, I know where I go with you. And I won't be afraid, it's my hope, don't play. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. And where I go with you. Yes, man, I love those words. God is always with us, isn't He? Awesome. And also, He created us very uniquely. Like we're wired in a very unique way we're wired to glorify God, right? You guys ready to dance a little bit? Are you guys ready to dance a little bit? All right. Now it's made to do amazing things. And I know, now it's made to be His hands and feet. And I know, God made me shine, makes me come alive, makes me wanna live my life. God made me shine, makes me come alive, makes me wanna live my life. I wanna dance, 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 dance all around. I wanna jump, 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 and sing out loud, hear the light out. Let's just get higher now. I wanna shout it out to the world. God made me, and I'm unique. Yeah, God made me, and I'm unique. I was made, and I was made to do amazing things. And I know, and I was made to be His hands and feet. And I know, God made me shine, makes me come alive, makes me wanna live my life. God made me shine, makes me come alive, makes me wanna live my life. I wanna dance, 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 dance all around. I wanna jump, 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 sing out loud, hear the light out. Just get higher now, I wanna shout it out to the world. God made me, and I'm unique. Yeah, God made me, and I'm unique. And I'm wired, oh, I'm wired, wonderfully made. My desire to sing His praise or shout it louder. Oh, I believe that God made me to shine. And I'm wired, wonderfully made. My desire to sing His praise or shout it louder. Oh, I believe that God made me to shine. God made me to shine, makes me come alive, makes me wanna live my life for Him. God made me to shine, makes me come alive, makes me wanna live my life. I wanna dance, 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 dance all around. I wanna jump, 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 and sing out loud, hear the light out. I just can't hide it now. I wanna shout it out to the world. God made me, and I'm unique. Yeah, oh, God made me. Yeah, and I'm unique. Yeah. Woo! Man, that was so much fun. And now, kids, it is time for your Bible story.
Good morning. It's Miss Leslie here, and I get to spend Sunday morning with you for our Bible story. I have a question for you, though. Do you like fairy tales? I know I did when I was little. I really loved Cinderella and Snow White, but not just because they were princesses. The weird thing was I really liked how they could talk to animals. Kind of sounds silly, but in my little girl brain, that was the cool thing. They could talk to the animals. And I also loved how kind and sweet they were, even when things around them or people around them weren't so great. But of course, the best part of fairy tales is when you get to the end and it says, and they lived happily ever after, right? Well, I don't know when I stopped believing in fairy tales, but I do know that I was still pretty young when I started believing in another story. That was God's story. My parents were so good, wonderful Christian people who taught me about the Bible and read to me all those wonderful stories in God's big story. And I got to learn about wonderful people. And then they explained to me that God had a happily ever after for me too. So I get to read to you one of those stories today out of your Jesus Storybook Bible. And it comes from the book of Isaiah. It's called Operation No More Tears. Do you know what your name means? Well, there was once a man called Isaiah, and his name meant God to the rescue. That might sound like a bit of a funny name to you, but it was just the right name for Isaiah because God had a special job for him. You see, Isaiah's job was to listen to God and then tell people what he heard. Now, God let Isaiah know a secret. God was going to mend his broken world. He showed Isaiah his secret rescue plan, Operation No More Tears. This is the message that God gave Isaiah. It was like a letter that God wrote to his children. Here's how it goes. Dear little flock, you're all wandering away from me like sheep in an open field. You've always been running away from me, and now you're lost. You can't find your way back. But I can't stop loving you. I will come to find you. So I'm sending you a shepherd to look after you and love you, to carry you home to me. You've been stumbling around like people in a dark room, but in the darkness a bright light will shine. It will chase away all the shadows like sunshine. A little baby will be born, a royal son. His mommy will be a young girl who doesn't have a husband. His name will be Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us. He is one of King David's children's children, the Prince of Peace. Yes, someone is going to come and rescue you, but he won't be who anyone expects. He will be a king, but he won't live in a palace. And he won't have lots of money. He will be poor, and he will be a servant. But this king will heal the whole world. He will be a hero. He will fight for his people and rescue them from their enemies. But he won't have big armies, and he won't fight with swords. He will make the blind see, and he will make the lame leap like deer. He will make everything the way it was always meant to be. But people will hate him, and they won't listen to him. He will be like a lamb, and he will suffer and die. It's the secret rescue plan that we made from before the beginning of the world. It's the only way to get you back. But he won't stay dead. I'll make him alive again. And one day when he comes back to rule forever, the mountains and the trees will dance and sing for joy. The earth will shout out loud. His fame will fill the whole earth as the waters cover the sea. Everything sad will come untrue. Even death is going to die. and he will wipe away every tear from every eye. Yes, the rescuer will come. Look for him, watch for him, wait for him. He will come. I promise. Love, God. Poor Isaiah. He read God's letter over and over to God's people, but no one listened to him at all, ever. They didn't want to hear God's promise. They didn't believe it. Did it sound maybe too good to be true? A story that ends happily ever after? Well, it does sound like a fairy tale, doesn't it? And as anyone will quickly tell you, fairy tales aren't true. Or are they?